9.5 feet. That's the ceiling height in most Bangalore apartments today. And the first thing most interior designers will tell you is, let's do a false ceiling. But here's the question nobody asks. Do you actually need one? Because the moment you add a false ceiling, you're dropping that height by at least 4 to 6 inches. So before you say yes, let me walk you through exactly when a false ceiling genuinely adds value to your home and when you're better off without it. Hi everyone, this is Upasana from SKIC Projects Bangalore, and today we are talking false ceilings. Let's get on with it. Chapter 1. What even is a false ceiling? First, let's quickly understand what a false ceiling actually is. A false ceiling is a secondary ceiling installed below your original concrete ceiling. It creates a gap between the two, and that gap is where all your wiring, light fittings and other services are hidden. The most common material used is gypsum board. USG is a reliable brand. The channels that hold it are from Saint-Gobain, and the joints are finished with fiber mesh and POP to prevent cracking. There are a few types of false ceiling you'll come across. A full flat ceiling covers the entire room in a clean flat surface. A peripheral false ceiling only runs along the edges of the room, leaving the center open. Wooden pattern false ceiling used lightly to match a specific design theme. A designer false ceilings with mirrors, rafters or decorative elements used only in larger rooms where the space can carry it. Each has its place, but not every room needs one. And that's exactly what I want to help you understand today. Chapter 2. The real reason you need a false ceiling. Here is the honest answer. The main reason to have a false ceiling is lighting. That's it. A false ceiling gives you the ability to install ceiling lights, panel lights, profile lights, track lights, COB lights, all the beautiful lighting options that make your interiors come alive. Without a false ceiling, you're limited to wall lights and lamps. And while those have their place, a beautifully designed home with a wall-mounted tube light just doesn't feel right. It brings the whole design down. So the question is, do you really need ceiling lights in the room? If yes, a false ceiling makes complete sense. If no, skip it. Keep full ceiling height. Chapter 3. What about those fancy designer ceilings? False ceilings with flower patterns, heavy POP designs and decorative layers. These were very popular about 10 to 15 years ago, but honestly, they are outdated now. And more importantly, they almost never match your interiors. You spend on a beautifully designed minimal living room, clean walls, elegant furniture, thoughtful lighting, and then there is a heavy flower pattern ceiling above it. It just doesn't belong. Today, the most beautiful false ceilings are the simplest ones. A clean flat ceiling with the right lights, or a slim peripheral ceiling that frames the room gently and creates depth. The ceiling should complement your design, not compete with it. And when your design is minimal, a plain flat false ceiling with beautifully arranged lights is genuinely the best choice you can make. Chapter 4. A real example. Let me give you a real example because this is something we see very often in the Assetz Marq apartments, Bangalore. In Assetz Marq, the builder has already provided ceiling light points in the foyer, living room and dining area, which is great. But in the bedrooms, there are no ceiling light points. So what does this mean for your false ceiling decision? In your living, dining and foyer, the ceiling light points are already there. You can use them as they are. No false ceiling needed in these areas. Your floor height stays full, which feels open, spacious and airy. In your bedrooms, since there are no ceiling light points, we would recommend a false ceiling here. Because bedroom lighting from the ceiling makes a huge difference. It gives the option of warm recessed lights, profile lights around the edges, and it makes the bedroom feel designed and complete. So in that case, bedroom false ceiling, yes. Living and dining, save the height, use what's given. Chapter 5. One bonus advantage. This is one of the practical advantages of false ceiling that most people don't think about. Curtain channels. When you have a false ceiling, you can hide your curtain track inside it. The curtain then drops straight from the ceiling all the way to the floor. This makes the room look significantly taller and significantly neater. No visible curtain rods, no hardware showing, just a clean, beautiful drop of fabric from ceiling to floor. If you don't have a false ceiling, you can still do a pelmet and a slim box that hides the curtain track and achieve a similar effect. But when a false ceiling is already planned, hiding the curtain channel inside it is a detail that really elevates the finished look of a room. So, do you need a false ceiling in your Bangalore apartment? Here's the simple answer. If you need ceiling lights in that room, yes. If you have existing ceiling points and don't need extra lighting, no. And if your design is minimal, keep it flat and simple. Let the lights do the work. Your ceiling height is precious. Don't give it up unless you get something genuinely valuable from it. At SKIC Projects, we look at every room individually and suggest exactly what makes sense for your apartment and your design. No blind recommendations, no unnecessary additions. Free consultation, zero pressure and complete transparency. Stay tuned for more such information. Happy interiors everyone. See you in the next one.